lads. Undead, this should be a big one. 2 whips at least. In case there are any spooky, scary ghosts. Coleman is there. Communist is busy leveling up. They're already quite tough. But he's obviously got quite a ways to go before we can get him on the front line. I think what I'm going to do is he's going to end up being a heavy armor, 2-handed mace. Reach advantage, berserk, killing frenzy, indom. The quick hands is a waste. Well, maybe not. I mean, if he's gonna be, no, if he's a torturer, even though he's a, no, he's not a torturer. He's a mace. I suppose 8, 9, 10, and then 2 perks. He's got 5 perks left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I suppose he will be quick handsing between when he has the 2-handed mace out. He'll be quick handsing between that and his wooden stick for a stun target? Question mark? It's not too late. I can still go back to a torturer build with a shield. As we know, the torturers absolutely need quick hands. I quickly want to talk about Steelbrow for a second, because on my offline cultist campaign, I experimented on giving all of my lads Steelbrow, and it kind of reinforced something that I have to admit I actually already knew but kind of forgot. Is that Steelbrow is mandatory for light armor lads, but not necessary heavy armor lads. Where's the f***ing... Oh, hang on. Jeez, we got to move forward here. 2 Necromancers. Interesting. Shit. The Falcon. I could have sworn one of the guys had the Falcon, so I wasn't sure what I was up against there. It's just got scary pretty quickly, but then again, the armored Vidgangers aren't that bad. Then we can just disarm possessed ones, give the archers time to take out the Necromancers. Oh, wait a minute. Torturer, hammer. Okay, so manual there, mages there, down. Hope Ikri's gonna do work. That war scythe. It's also disappointing we haven't gotten our hands on another war scythe. Also, why did I start with hammer and with shield and dagger out on my Warhammer lads when I would have known that with the undead there's no need for the shields? Details. But to be fair, I've just woken up from my Sunday afternoon nap, so brain's still a little fuzzy. Oh, come on. Nice. One and indom necessary? I don't think so. No! Wrong button. Full of errors today. Little efficiencies like that can cause so many problems. Hits. Technically, I should have saved his fatigue when he's got 3 enemies next to him. Full. Yeah, the light armor just doesn't cut it. Nice necromancers, nerds. Oh. It's got a strongest urge to play Darkest Dungeon for some reason. What am I saying? For some reason. The reason is always the same. It's because it's awesome. But that's mostly why I want to wrap up. I have to wrap up one of my game series. I've got so many game series on the go. I think once this XCOM playthrough ends, which honestly it's probably going to end sooner than we thought, that dark event, the large progress towards secret, what's it, objective or whatever it's called. It basically adds 2 ticks to the Doom bar. Can't even see the Doom counter yet, but having 2 ticks added to it in mid-June, pretty devastating for the campaign. What? Oh, a Vilianga Necromancer, that's a first. Let's, if we see that Necromancer casting spells, I'm going to scream if that is the case. Nope, he just comes. Dude, necromancers have no chill. Like the one necromancer dies, so his necromancer friend just raises him up. That is metal. That is so metal. It's. Yeah, sorry lads. I'd said I was just going to break for lunch. I'd intended to just take an hour for lunch. But then I had my lunch, a delicious beef curry that I made earlier in the week. By the way, there is very much truth to the saying that if you let curry sit for a day or two, it gets even better. But a big belly, out of belly full of beef curry, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have a Sunday afternoon nap. And I did, and it was awesome. Love that. Look at that, 20 melee defense extra, 53. 53 is really good. And we're gonna need it with these axes coming in. I feel more threatened up here to the north. They're sending ration there. Oh wait, those are natural zombies getting up, not being raised by the zombie necromancer. Should I wait until this dude's shield gets broken? Let's just see what the percentage chance is to hit him, and then I'll decide whether I need to do that or not. That crypt cleaver is amazing. That's great. Oh, hello. Anger nerd. The chance is 74. I was just about to say this, so there's no need to break that shield. 74 is high enough. I go and hit the shield. Typical. Oof, owie. Loving these dodges, boys. Good job. armor shred. I was thinking while I was making my coffee that I really do need to get some heavy throwing weaponry, but without a mace to actually stun the reavers as you approach them, it's really difficult to get those throwing weapons. Now, if that fallen hero attacks the new guy there, Pumulus, he may well not survive that one hit. Oh, good dodging, lads. Nice. Very nice. I mean, if someone like Emmanuel is struggling this much in such a comparatively small fight, and if you look at how much better Levitsmere is doing. Yep, these 3 light armor Warhammer lads are all going to have to be replaced. Eat. Oh. Oh, whoops. Tails. I want more of those crypt cleavers. I think like the torturers, as good as they are with shields and the one-handed weapon, if they all have those crypt cleavers, Black will be in a better spot. I wanted to come here to Dawnthal to go check if there's a hunter. I suppose we can still do that. Brigands in there. Get in there. Good fight, lads. Level for Coman. Like how nice and round all his numbers are. 20, 80, 20. Excellent, yes. I briefly thought of returning to Blankenwasser just to sell everything we're carrying. But we need to see if there are hunters here to be had. And as always, the answer is no. It is worth checking out these farmers and butchers to see if we can't find a superstar. Because of the lower level lads, they are actually... they have a decent chance of being superstars. What is this? Green goblins? No thanks. Camped goblins? No thank you. Staff of brigands? Not yet, no. Escort to settle. We could do that. We'll be stopping in at Felstein, Schonval, else? Where's settle? Oh, there it is. Yep, definitely we'll take that. Oh, dies for 400. Yes, please. How cheap that ammo is. $287. Any reason to buy? Nope. Grind continues. Anyway, money's looking good. Almost 12,000. It's crazy that there's a group of thugs in it at day 265. This looks promising. Don't mess with us. On dawn, get to dawn. Yeah, just. That's by the campfire. Settle is well supplied, which is great because they have a weaponsmith. Look at how cheap these fucking ghouls are! Wonderful. Bone plating, yes please. Lindworm shield. What's the Lindworm armor attachment made out of? It's Lindworm scales and the tree man glue, question mark? It's tree man glue. Anyways, I think what I want here is noble mail with bone plating. That's like the next logical upgrade for these noble mail lads. Any need for any more wolf pelts? Nope. This one needs the make it lighter attachment, that's for damn sure. And Ton just needs to make us a fancy bow. At any second that could proc. I hope it's going to happen. Antidote. We've got one antidote, don't we? Yeah, we've got one. Black paint don't need. Bone plating, no. Direwolf belt, no. Orange and red we can actually make though. What mission have you got for us? 3 skull. Hope it's a... Okay, it's fighting greenskins. 3 skulls. It's not that attractive of a mission because 3 skulls is likely that there's going to be a champion unit in there. But I mean, if it's an orc champion, it's like... don't really care. What have you got for us? Just marksmen and hunters. There's no leader in there. We need one more location beset by undead just to finish his ambition. We are at famed, which is not even that high. I would thought, but of course we gain renown at 50% of the rate. And down the Lindworms. I think we should actually take that. We saw how hard the last Lindworm fight was. So one things I want to test is, can you use throwing spears against Lindworm to soften up their armor? And let's see, we got Benjamin, we got Archer, Polom. We'll have these lads in front. I wonder if the Warhammer boys are better off fighting with shield and fighting axe, or do we just give them... I mean, you can give them Polom so they can attack from distance without getting hit by the acid, but then their damage will be lowered by quite a lot. And the armor destruction isn't really the real killing danger of the Lindworms, it's their bite that's the killing danger. Shield skills build up 3 less fatigue. That is quite nice. 24 melee defense, 20 melee defense. 20. Let's do that. We'll do that. We'll do the Lindworms, but let's go sell everything we're carrying first. Unless we can get a patrol mission, which would be ideal. Don't need any of this stuff. Ooh, hello. One-handed Shemshir, 45 to 50, 38 and 87, that's kind of okay. And maximum fatigue. These Shemshirs are quite nice, actually. A Shemshir already is an exquisite and exotic weapon in these parts, but this piece is of extraordinary quality. It will cut through flesh and bone just as easily as through a ripe melon. Lovely weapon, but not what I'm after. Ooh. He's worth hiring. Let's just see what ranged skill he starts with. 40, and that'll get him up to 85. Which is... it's okay. Oh, I always love a good wild man. Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. We've got a superstar here. This is the heaviest of heavy armor wearer. Oh, yes! Oh, beautiful, beautiful wild man. Plus 45, so it gets up to 90, almost 100. Plus 30, so 35. Look at that fatigue. This is what we needed. This is exactly what we needed for the outside flank. This is a heavy armored two-handed hammer. This is exactly the dude we needed to replace Gungnir. Beautiful. But we're even going to label him as Gungnir replacement. Beautiful. And then Fritz is going to be rations replacement. Goliath. Just gonna have better stats than either Aegis or Warhammer, but then Goliath will become the, you know, number 5 position Warhammer user. Don Burt. I don't know whether I want to change my setup from 4 Warhammer 3 Torturer to 4 Warhammer 2 Torturer, 1 two-handed mace user. Because Pumulus, I've got to make the decision. I think he needs to be... I want the mace user, though, in the middle. Like in that last fight, I did note, it was noticeable how having only 2 torturers, only 2 guys who can whip to disarm someone, was not as useful. But the thing is, if I make him just as a mace master, even though he has quick hands, he will use a 2-handed mace. Then he can still quick hands to a whip and disarm someone as long as his melee skill is high. Admittedly, it's going to kill his fatigue. I think we can just take his weapon specialization last and then we'll decide what we want to do with him. But this dude, oh, glorious. Glorious. This is Nixus, who actually need to be training up as well. Let's have Nixus take over as the primary bannerman right now. Unless it's a super difficult fight. Don Burt is he'll be a decent archer. 52 at 2, that's fine. And Anton, like I said, he's just there to make us a fancy bow. Emmanuel, let's give you 55 resolve. You're often surrounded by yourself. And see, there's the cocking falcon that I was thinking of. I'm gonna carry that dog. Ruff. Man, I'm pleased. That is one of the superstars we were hoping to find. Hang on. Archery contest. Hunters, poachers, witch hunters are more likely to be here for hire. Really? Doesn't look like it. A beast hunter is actually another option for a ranged fighter. It's just 1 second again. Hang on. So Donbert, he'll be good enough. I mean, I keep thinking of Varwolf and Onimaru as like good archers, but they really aren't. And the weakened heart means Varwolf needs to be replaced. So Donbert, you are the Wolf replacement. So effectively we only have 2 archers. Onimaru I think we can keep. 91 here, okay. I feel like 95 is really what I want to get all my ranged archers to. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nets, I got enough nets. Tools were good. Food, we are not good. We're having to feed a lot of people though. But fear not, as soon as Anton produces that bow for us, he will get kicked out of here in a second. I mean, retired with honor is what I meant to say. What's in there? There is brigands in abandoned stronghold. I love this phase of Battle Brothers, when you're over the hardest part and now you can start really making lots of money. Unhold, yes please. Your bones, Unhold. Although 9 of them is a piss load. Eight. Let's hold the formation. Try to focus on one at a time, that can. So Paragon's gonna go there. Manuel, that's there. Gunneer is there to rotate if someone's in trouble. Gotta kill these things quick. And the fact that we don't have fearsome on anybody kind of doesn't help. I've kind of lost sight of how fearsome is so amazingly good for killing beasts, because the weakness for beasts a lot of the time is their morale. Turn done on a bunch of these things. We'll just step in and start smashing. I've got to be very careful with Pumulus. Yeah. Dodging lads. Now, are they going to act before Emmanuel? Most certainly. I think I'm going to leave Levittsmith where he is, because I expect these lads to come. I could sneak in there. Hold the line. I think that's better. What they need to add potion or a poison or something, or like add various poison crafting recipes. Particularly, I would love a potion or a poison that can slow down or reduce or even completely stop healing. As exhausted, that's a problem. Damn it. So close. Release the hounds, just 4 additional targets for them to hit. The unhold, that is. Oh, great dodging, Aegis. And Russian. Oh, the doggies! Bastard. It's gonna cost us a lot of money in dogs. Ouch. That's probably fine. Oh fuck, I forgot there was one there. How is he not dead? Good dog. I don't know how many dogs have killed an unhold before. Keep thinking that's Coman, our other Bannerman number 3 has Dirk. What the fuck, Wolf? I know you just found out you're getting replaced, but that's no way to take it out on everybody else. Confident is no good. What? Oh, there's... Oh, fucking hell, these invisible unhold. Ow! So close to death. Okay, there's still be 4 left. I can hardly see half of them. Is he? Right there. That was a nice big hit of damage there. Can't be stunned, right? No, they're immune to stun. Can't really make them tired either. This is where the 2-handed maces would be amazing. For the daze effect. Excellent. Only 3 of these fuckers left now. Maybe we can get him to be not confident. Better. What is these misses? 277s. Oh, yes. There's the true power of Decapitate on the Cleaver. It doesn't even say how much damage it did though, unfortunately. Nice. And let me tell you boys, if at all possible, we're going to farm up some more of those Crypt Cleavers. Woo! Well fought, lads. Only one bones. Really? Really? Okay, just the one injury, broken nose, not too bad. Just nice around 40 melee defense. Excellent. Hit points and melee offense. Let's play. Come on, show me a nice little room with some undead in. Complete this ambition. Have we already done the have two lads with warhammers ambition? That we have. We know that there's undead in here. Go complete this mission and then fight that undead. What is this again? Yeah, goblins camped. No thanks. In the nightmare is awesome. That's a fight against Alp. Like this, we need some Alp crafting materials. Pelom. Pelom. A drink, gents. You've earned it. Stuff. Get a most noble burial ground. Let's see. Ooh. I watched out the steward's books and came across old maps depicting ancient noble burial ground in the steep a long way from here. However, nobody was able to find it yet. Well, things are just not to be found. In the steep a long way from here. I wonder if he's talking about Crypt of Gelfargo. Go explore down there. This is new. Mixing in dogs. There's just the three of them, that's not so bad. Oh, get resisted. I don't think anyone's asleep there. We resisted all that sleep. Let's remind ourselves that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer, but this seems incredibly easy with the right weapon setups and the right tactics. Look at this. I don't know why they changed the Alp again. I mean, some people are complaining about it, but they're idiots. The previous iteration of the Alps was the best form of the Alps, in my humble opinion. Oh, and one cool thing about my cultists was fighting these things is a joke, because your cultists all have such huge resolve. It's damn near impossible to make them go to sleep. Wrecking these things. Oh, running away, eh? Release the dogs! Well, it's nice to know that with our current setup, any of these missions to kill Alp is going to be comparatively easy money. So that's one thing that was surprising. I thought that if you were in melee contact with them, then they stop their teleportation bullshit. Apparently not. Yeah, look at how they're still teleporting. What? What? Yeah, put the dogs to sleep. See how that helps you. Nailed him. You're really running away, that little... Running away bravely is our thing. Very well fought, men. I mean, like, some nice crafting materials and 250-ish XP for each person. Nice. Nice! Another reason doing those missions are absolutely worth it. Let's go back to our weapon setup. Bearing in mind we're going to be fighting brigands. I think, yeah, we should have some daggers here. I want to make sure that I can stab down the bandit leaders. It's good to know that Nixus is kind of, he's a passable fighter now. He is obviously quite weak against enemy marksmen, but my marksmen are strong enough that we can probably wreck them. Not too much concern. No. Hit points. You're all fine. It's only a 2 skull. If we're really lucky, there will be a champion in here. No, just a regular leader, but that armor is worth taking. Damn it. Oh, gee, I can't go to the cleaver. Shield out. Quick hands. That woodcutter's axe could still be nasty, so I think that's worth disarming. Owie. Nice to the face. The old Bennett right to the chops. Dodge. The lungs, ouch. Shooting. And if you look at how good Onimaru is now and how crap he was when we bought him, maybe I'm judging some of these ranged fighting guys too harshly. Fear us. A stun there, don't you dare stun. Shields. First. Oh. Oh. Wolf, give me your nice armor. Give me your nice armor and we can let you leave. Well, that's not true. We're gonna murder you horribly, but... Drop your armor on the ground. We're prepared to surround him. I don't want him running away. Damn it. Now, who has got daggers? You do. Whenever I see this and watching the hit points fly down and the armor get untouched, I always fantasize about making a, you know, a mix of daggers and axes on the front line with a peasant militia. 5 axes, 4 daggers. Stick everything in the guts and take all the armor. That setup would be so bad against Undead. Struggles so much against swarms of zombies. What's in there? Brigands. $14,000, getting up there. Third eyes, how we can keep them. 7. That. Who's marked here for heavy armor use? Goliath, maybe. I got 3 sets of heavy armor here. We do need a 4th. Do is that. We will get that, and I think the screen we can take down to 1. Third eye's down to 2. I'm just conscious of storage space. And hold hide, I don't know what I'm gonna do with. Go see what is in Crypt of Jalfargo. In the morning. Let's expect undead, so that, like that, that. Wonder if, let's just swap out Command just for this one in case there's lots of geists. Just the screaming. Necromancer, Geists, Undead mix. Okay. Always great when there's no need to have to move forward to hit the Necromancer. Let's see, so one Warhammer. It's ration. But about this. Necromancer is living on borrowed time. Great starting setup for us. Oh yes, leave the Necromancer unguarded on that one angle. Yes. Oh, curses. One of these is going to hit now at some point. Oh, almost a triple ghost kill. That would be a first. Hope Ration can reach that ghost. I think he can. He? It didn't occur to me that that fallen here would act before. Right. Yes, Levitsmere really does have incredibly low initiative. You. Very nice, Ration. That's not what I meant to do. Sorry, Ikri. .47. Go on. Yes, right in the neck. Now Ration. I'm hoping he can disarm that fallen hero. Guys, wait. We might be able to get a third target. Hold. Oh, I forgot to disarm this nerd. Shit. Doesn't matter. Levitsmere. Unhittable. G. Oh. But here we go. 48%. Varwolf, finish what you started. You failed. Nice. MK's melee defense really coming in nice and useful there. Got him. Fucking got him. That now makes this a very different fight. As soon as the Necromancer is down, it cuts down the damage of the enemy. Can I dodge away here? If I shield up. Good. What was that hit chance? Height disadvantage, shield 5% chance. Excellent. Well done, Populus. I don't know who I'm going to give the Undead Charm to. Because it doesn't really matter. If it's either of the two guys on the flanks, good. Shields. Nice, Levin Smear. Yes, buddy. Triple kill. I feel like if I could give the Damage Incorporated a subtitle, it would be Ghostbusters. We're really good against Undead. I suppose that is the easiest of all the enemy groups to be really good against. The brigands are easier to deal with. Just these shields are our biggest enemy. Thwarted by shields. I wonder if after this it's worth exploring that bit of the steep off to the west of the map. There was that tip we got in the tavern about the armory getting raided and a real prize. Gotta find the place in the steep off to the... I didn't say to the west, just off in the steep somewhere, but we've explored the steep all the way to the east. You know what, fuck it, we're just in the phase where we should be clearing out whatever ruins we can find. I do like here how you can check where the battle lines were drawn just by the corpses on the ground. Nice. One more hit. Here we go, boys. Good job. Look at these XP numbers. 300, 360, 390. Excellent. All down here. Nice. We gained the Undead trophy. Excellent. So either Levitsmere or Gungnir. I think Levitsmere, because even though he doesn't have the melee skill that Gungnir does, Levitsmere is tougher. 54 resolve, 55 resolve. It's the same, isn't it? Well, actually, we'll give it to Gungnir because in his lighter armor, if he gets his morale broken and he's fleeing, that's a bigger problem for him. Emmanuel. Carry a dog, actually. Oh, +4. Yes, please. What have we got here? We got Brawny, Battleforged. Got Berserk right now. Up his damage output a little bit. Once he's level 11, he'll go to the front line. And he is fairly racing towards level 11. Ooh, nice. Wine. Lads have deserved a drink. I can even sell these Alp trophies. No, I don't need them. These are for fighting masses of brigand raiders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should also consider those throwing, what are they called again? Speetums? Throwing spear. That could be quite useful in fighting the tree men as well. 6. 7. 3, 4, 5, 6. At a certain point I don't need to keep stockpiling these crap shields, but then again, let's keep 4 in reserve, because now any more than 4 is just taking up inventory space. Oh, hello. This is perfect. Range defense, range skill, fatigue, extra fatigue, death wish. He just needs to roll decently on his starting ranged. See, I want hunters. He'll be okay, and the fact that he's strong is nice. He's got stars and exactly where we need it. Let's just see how much range skill he's going to have. Range skill 2 stars is 4 every level, so that's plus 40. That'll get him up to 89. That's a keeper. Let's see. Light armor, archer. Excellent. Actually, he doesn't have to be Varvel for a place. He can just be a straight archer, because eventually we want 4 archers. Then if we find actual hunters, then they can become the Varwolf replacement. Only Varwolf, I think, needs to be replaced with his weakened heart. Oh, that's right, I need another closed male coif for Raban. Yeah, the roster's getting really bloated now. We're not going to hire anybody else for the moment. I need to get rid of some people. Still, finally, it's taken us 271 days. Right, fine, go for it. Awesome, ranged skill, nice. Statue, hello. Onto it, times by gold. Let's not put on this. Got all 4 archers. It just took us 271 days. Still going to look to replace some of them. Vesting orcs, 15,000. Already got. Awesome. Give us the extra inventory space, which we desperately need. It's taken us up to, what, 161? Yeah. Excellent. Yes. We did the 7,500 wagon upgrade. We did the caravan hand background upgrade. And now we've got the 15,000 upgrade. So 161 is as big as your inventory can get, I believe. Without using mods to get it even bigger. Now we can take the besting orcs in battle ambition. Ooh, what's that? That. Let's see. 3 men to master bow or crossbow. We could. Going into the wild. Let's do that. Okay, time to fight brigands. If this is worst case scenario, scary amount of brigands, I want kite shields. Just to eat some arrows from close up. Polearm, Archer, Bannerman. Get Nixus in for this one. I need the Polearm boys. I don't think I do. But then again, throwing in level 1 and 2 archers against marksmen is a little scary. These guys, Raban and Donbert. We will let them fight. Once there's like zombie hordes that they can farm. Here you go, Raban. Welcome to the company. Nice wonky bow. How about a war bow? Oh yes, all of these unhold hide. Why did I sell them? They need to be turned into large quiver of arrows. I didn't think about that. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was a nice champion in here with a legendary item. "24 brigands." That's a fuckload of brigands. No less than 3 leaders, and not one of them have a named item. Shots. Let's see, MK2. Bam! Get him. No, I could have sworn I could still Indomitable. Well. Lot of marksmen here. Goodness for unhold bones. Probably got at least another volley that we have to deal with though from these other marksmen. Are we? Really? Why does it make you break? Having an unarmed brigand walk up to you. Really, Manuel? Howard. Yes, come rushing towards us. Perfect. Did not do a lot of damage, so thank goodness for Indomitable. Love this dodging, lads. Good job. Nice! Off with the head. Right up, get wrecked, mate. Any of these guys are going to come forward? Unlikely. Yeah, 2 crossbows, still scary. Ah, let's try and move away. That's bold. Bold strategy. No, the whole bleed to death thing is always so amusing. I mean, tactically it's annoying that they get to attack before they bleed to death, but I always find it amusing seeing them bleed to death. Yes. I don't care too much about that dude's armor. Should I? I mean, is it worth? That looks like footman. Is that basic footman's armor or footman's with the attachment? I think it's basic. Fuck it. Get him. You fucking marksman bastards! I do wonder if this is the place we got that tip about. Is this the place that's going to have legendary? I doubt it. It doesn't feel like it would have a legendary in it. Then again, triple leader. If anything's going to have a legendary in it, a bandit layer with 3 leaders should have. Oof, tried to move away. Brave. Get him, lads. Technically, I should be stabbing that guy just to get his armor for the money, but fuck it. I hate that the marksmen get away, though. Bastards. Good boy. Killed by a dog. Well, in the last couple episodes, our war dogs have taken down a friggin' unhold. It's not that bad that they would get a bandit leader. Brigand, I should say. Ooh, does it hit first? Oh, I was about to say Levitt's gonna do the honors, but this guy's about to get ripped to pieces by dogs. Oh, that's brutal. That is so brutal. Dogs need man flesh. And no legendary item. We did get a Dane axe though, which is good. Nice big group of undead. Here we can get the low level lads in. How long for Goliath? Let's see here. Nixus is getting up there in levels. As a bannerman, he needs range defense. And he is kind of okay. Alarm, yep. Rally, yep. Cover, he certainly does need. Let's see here. We're going to go berserk on the next turn. Let's go quick hands. And let him use a crossbow. A bit of damage. Onimaru could sit this one out, as can MK. Who else is low level here? Fitz and not Anton. Meinrad. Meinrad has just become more important actually. Goliath needs to level. Like that. All these low level boys on the back line. It's going to be mostly up to the front line to do the work here. Few fallen heroes, armored Wiedergangers, and some Nachters. That should be fine. And hopefully that ruin is the one. Yo, Frosty, what's up? Hopefully that one behind there, that's the one we heard about at the tavern. Yes, the tip. Righto, boys. You should all know question by now. Yes, leave that space, leave that space. We've used raise morale, I suppose. But as soon as Manuel gets a kill, morale will go up. It looks like there's not even any ghosts or necromancers here. This should be straightforward. I even have whips that I can hit the Nachters with as they approach. The line, boys. So we found this ruin out here to the west now, which we hope will be the one that was that tip for where there's a legendary. But our inventory is going to be full after this fight, so we'll pop into the nearest city, liquidate all of our assets, if you will. We'll go clear out that ruin and hopefully get a legendary. Generally, I could do a lot more to try to get legendaries early on. Nice armor, nerds. You know, he's getting whipped, beaten with a warbow. Warhammer, I mean. And also particularly glad that this little patrol came out of that ruin, because it tells us that there's undead in that ruin. shit, that guy's gonna get an attack off. Oh, he can't get an attack off. Okay, great. And G, thanks for bringing out your dead. Ow! Have it, Smear. Get him. Well, actually, some of the gear, most of the gear you're seeing, this is just the standard tier 3 weaponry. I don't think I even have any legendaries. I've only got that one legendary shield. To be fair, I haven't pushed as hard as I could have to get legendary items, but that's now what I'm going to be trying to be doing. But yeah, I mean, I suppose if you're accustomed to just playing right from the beginning, then this does seem like crazy gear, doesn't it? Dodging, dodging. In my last peasant playthrough, I had a two-handed warhammer that was legendary. And they'll forget it did like, Jesus, what was it? 205 to 320 armor damage. Just with a regular swing. Incredible, taking a orc warrior from full armor down to almost nothing in a single swing. Amazing. It's one of the reasons I love Warhammer so much, although do you really need reason to love a Warhammer? I don't think you... Nice dodging, easy. One left, where is he? Hiding in a bush? Oh, right, it's the one little... Nachtzia, running away! Nice levels. Excellent. Nearest temple. It'll be all the way back at Blankenstead. But okay, let's just clear out this place, see what's in there. Lucky that broken nose will miraculously heal overnight. It's 4 plus 3 and fatigue. But for the archer we need quick hands always. Quick hands is so good for an archer. Gungnir's replacement. At least get the range defense down to 0. And he is a wild man, so that means minus 15%. That 25. Ugh. She'll have to do something about that. It says they're only 15% chance. I really hope this is the one we got that tip about. Also, I wonder how long do the tips sort of remain active? Fatigue per turn, that's gonna hurt him, but I don't think it's worth hanging around or going all the way back. It'll take us days to get to the big city, sell everything, and then get back here. Get this fucking done. Nexus, see, that'll have to be enough. I mean, yeah, fine. I've got these whips. Not too scared of Undead that might be in there. Just these two guys, Ration and Paragon, are damn good against the ghosts. Levinsmere, you gonna get through this. He'll be fine, big lad. Tough lad. Doesn't look very legendary itemy. It appear that there is a Necromancer here. $27. At the last episode, we had a battle against 50. I mean, to be fair, it was two groups that we pitted against each other, but I think our personal best for damage incorporated is 35. We fought a swarm of 35 undead. But with 4 warhammers, it's kind of what we built for. We've got so much AoE damage, it's kind of wonderful. And then, of course, the torturers with their cleavers disarm the scarier fallen heroes and decapitate the Videgangers to stop them from getting up. This is such good XP here. When I look at this now, I just look at XP on the field. Levels. In retrospect, we could have actually brought the lower level backline. Sorry! Have it minute. My bad. Yes, get warhammered. Oh, I forgot he could attack twice there. Fail. Fractured elbow, broken leg. Tough. I want to get closer and start throwing axes at these fallen heroes, peppering them from range. Morale raising. If any of you remember many years ago, well, not many, but a couple of years ago when the game first came out, the way that raise morale would work, that you could use it to get your guys from neutral or from even from wavering it to up to positive. So your bannerman would kind of just like find a safe place to hide and then just use raise morale every single turn. Very often you'd have him just hiding in a bush, blowing his trumpet. Times. I can't help but think that these warhammers would have been better off being great swords, like in terms of how often they hit, how much base damage they do against unarmored targets. But then all you need is a fight against orc warriors to remind yourself that you made the right choice in taking warhammers. Oh. I love that this archer is like looking for angles and picking off enemies here and there. Very cool. All these misses is you seeing reach advantage doing its thing. Polearm users. Good. Ow! Gotta get out of this habit of hitting in turn. Again! It doesn't matter too much, at least the fight is mostly won, but habit. Bad habit. Well fought, boys. Very well fought. Where's my legendary? Whoa! I mean, 2 legendary is amazing, but they're both shields, though. Give me some weapons. The Keeper is plus 27 melee defense. That's awesome. Famed Rampart. Isn't that our shield that we dropped on the floor? No, let me just click leave now and leave all this behind. Fuck. They're gonna make a fortune out of all of this. Don't leave that behind. I mean, really good legendaries, hooray, but for fuck's sake. Yeah, look, we got King Backheart's Bastion. Plus 24 and 15. 24 and 15. Fatigue minus 14 and minus 2, so they're minus 3. So King Burkhardt is a little bit better. Keeper. Relic heater shield covered in iconographic images. It seems to be old, yet it's durable and well to handle. So Pumulus, there you go, mate. Big old shield. Man. Why did it have to be shields? Me off. Direwolves, we don't need direwolf pelts. 15 brigands, what has he got there? Thugs. Unless there's a champion, I'm not going to bother with thugs anymore. Warlord. Worth it. What you got for me? Nice and cheap. Salvage him after battle like armor that you have. Well, so Kamatosh, with the Northern Raiders background, you can still get some items like that at 0%. if that's what you mean. Like if after the battle, every single item that was on the battlefield can still be taken, but it'll just be at 0%. That would be great, but I think that would make the game a little too easy. Because then you would be so quick to get what you needed. 7-day patrol, perfect. Are we going to head out into the wilderness? To go find things and collect heads. Any particular weapon that we need? I think a two-handed mace. Is it just me? We had this one. We had like 18. Oh right, we spent 10,000 on a wagon. Right. Where's all my fucking money gone? I mean, when you have a brother that has an armor on that 0%, you get to keep it. You have a brother that has an armor on that is 0 when he dies. Well, I mean, like, sometimes if your brothers die, you don't get the item back, but most times you do. As long as they survive, you get the item back. Let's hang on to the long axe and the great axe, question mark. 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I need long axes for shield breaking. 5, 6, 7. We are unquestionably set up now to take on tree ants. Sure. Let's go to any of these at this point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, now I follow you. Right, yes, of course. Because it is devastating to have a shield, especially a legendary one. 46, 66, 86, 106, 120, 140. And then you have this amazing legendary shield, and then it gets chopped in half and it's just gone. Frustrating. No, fair enough. Don't worry about it, Comatose. Just having meaning get across in writing is always difficult. I always remind myself to not get annoyed with my colleagues who I work with, who just will seemingly write emails in stream of consciousness and not even take a second to consider how what they're saying might be interpreted, and how what they're saying is written in an open-ended and confusing way. It just gets on my nerves so much. Tombstones in the old graveyard. Anyway, it is unlikely that we're going to get any more tips, considering the fact that we just got some legendaries. Time is it? I need to make my steak dinner at 6 PM. 20 more minutes. Necromancer, this is easy enough. We can take some of the low-level boys, as long as we have Onimaru and Vavulf to do the Necromancer killing. We're fine. Ikri will leave behind. MK2 will leave behind. We'll Raban can come along. Donbert can come along. Also, Anton, can you hurry up and make the fucking legendary bow already? Please, mate. How long have you been with us? 98 days. Most powerful opponent you vanquished was an unhold. Good for you, mate. Now, please. Make me a fucking legendary item. I want to start using these throwing spears in fights like this, where we're up against these fallen heroes. How many times have we been up against fallen heroes with our Warhammer lads, and we haven't been able to hit them because they've got shields out? So he can be used against unshielded opponents as well for great effect to do armor damage. 49 to 77 damage to armor. Necromancer, some armored Wiedergängers, some Geists. Pretty standard up against these days. A lot of Geists. Right, so Varwolf, you need to go 3 squares forward and he'll be able to hit that Necromancer. The multiples of this desired background certainly works, but good lord, if you can afford to pay the salary of a bunch of Fletchers just sitting around, good for you, because I sure as hell can't. I think now most probably these guys are going to come into melee range and we won't be able to throw these. I think the better play would have been to stay back, throw the shield, and then rotate the archer out. Right, but then the archer wouldn't be able to shoot the Necromancer. Fine. By Evs. Indeed, Comatose. It's very much the way I look at like my my one polearm guy, Ikri, who's a monk, and it is so incredibly rare to get a monk who's any sort of, you know, has any sort of level of competency for fighting. Normally monks just sit in reserve and are a bit of a drain. Please let these guys go first and destroy those shields. Nice, Werewolf! With the one shot. Oh yeah. Epic. Really? It didn't even destroy the shield? And didn't give him a Warhammer. I'm a moron. I should have swapped out the shield, not the Warhammer. If I did that with my other Warhammer guys, this is going to be quite an interesting fight. Whew. Okay, at least ages. Right, so Emmanuel, you need to disarm one of these things. Their weapon. Monks to boost your cultist resolve by an event. Quite useful if you have a cultist banner. Oh, Gagnier has only got a dagger as well. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be... While playing games when you're streaming is so hard because I'm trying to be entertaining, and now even I've noticed that and totally forgotten about the fact that I'm supposed to be whipping these fucking guys. This is going to be a reload. We have to do this fight over again. Completely made a meal of this. Oh, Christ. Let's take stock of how many fuck ups I made in this fight. I gave throwing spears to the Warhammer guys instead of taking their daggers away. I didn't use raise morale on my bannermen. Didn't whip the Geists. There's a long list of cock-ups. Yep, this is a reload. That's one. I still can't get a hold of that lad. Imagine what the fuck must my Warhammer dads be thinking. Like, why would you take my Warhammer away? Oh yeah, Rolo fears no zombie. How the hell am I going to get close enough to actually kill that Geist? I have to bust my way through here. Shh. Oh, there's another one down here. Piss! This little dagger. Release the dog. Increase your DPS somehow. At this point, I'm just curious to see if we can even do this with these horrible amounts of mistakes we've made. Most. I'll rotate. Can I still whip? Oh, clutch! Ration, absolutely clutch. What's your defense? 35. Sit there with a shield and just wait for everyone else to take care of the stuff. Now I've got to do this kind of the same maneuver down here. But it should be easier because I can just whip for it! Kill my dog. It's a fallen hero. Had to get John Wicked. Ben and Donbert got problems, but that's not surprising considering they're level 1 and 2 respectively. So, Onimaru, it's up to you. Help them out. Oh, good dodging. Fuck that. You bastard! I need to get Russian out of there, that's... Almost. If you wait, we can maybe strip that thing's armor away. I mean, like, these little daggery things are actually not all that bad in terms of... Like, it's funny, I mean, 20 to 40 times 2, that's like an iron sword up at damage. As long as it's not hitting through armor, it's actually doing not terrible damage. Ow. Shields everywhere. Look at that, that's not terrible damage. On. Oh, doing what he can. His little dagger. Not. Whew. Griff, in. I've got an assassin before, and as you might imagine, he didn't get any stars in melee, skill, or defense. He got like initiative and resolve and hit points. It's useless. Well, this fight was made so much harder than it needed to be by my screw-ups. Kind of crazy to think that... Oh, jeez, Russian. Just forgot to give Warhammers to 2 of my 4 Warhammer lads. Actually, a little while ago, what was his name again? Verondox, the torturer who I mistakenly gave Warhammer Mastery to. He got killed a little while ago. I decided not to replace him. Or not to reload, I mean, because I was going to replace him anyway. I meant to say. But honestly, all of my torturers who have light armor are going to need to be replaced, because as you can see, like, the difference in survivability between the light armor and heavy armor guys is remarkable. I have kind of fallen into the trap of overestimating the survivability that Colossus gives you. But at least with the way I level my guys, I didn't make enough effort to give them gigantic hit point pools in the 200 to 300 range. E. Well, I mean, the light armor guys I do have done a fine job for these first 260 days. They've now gotten us to the position where we are strong enough. We can farm up a lot of stuff and look for superstars, which is exactly what we are doing. Well done, boys. That was a hell of a good fight, especially considering I completely screwed this up right here. Yeah, I wanted them to start with the throwing spear. I think the logic was sound with being able to break those fallen heroes' shields, but you need to do that rather than that. Embarrassing. Hey, that's how I learn, by fucking things up. Archer level 4. Bags and belts, I think, for the utility. Push you less than level 6. Keep a little shield. Get caught out. Band level 3. And good. So I've got all the throwing axes I need. I can actually get rid of all these stockpiled throwing axes now. Free up some more inventory space. Good Good fight, boys. Good fight. We need the coming up to 2 hours so that I can go break for dinner. Excuse me. That. Seven. But by all means, let's rather start stockpiling more of these throwing spears. Yes, yes. The way the pylon works is it is a ranged shield and armor destroying weapon. Hurl a throwing spear at a target in order to render their shield unusable. Targets with a shield will always be hit. Hitting a target without a shield can inflict devastating damage instead. The attack may miss. Cannot be used while engaged in melee. So 45 to 17 hit points, which is not that great. But it's 49 to 77 damage to armor. But the main thing is the 26 damage to shields. If you think like split shield uses 26 damage to shields, it's like the ability to use split shield from range. And single use. Speaking of classic Roman design, that was one of the things that made me think about having a little variant on my professional soldier build. Peasants, where everyone has the same thing. I mean, if you were to go for Roman soldier, you would give them classic Romans would, the gladius, of course, so the shields, sword specialization. Shield spec, sword spec, light armor, rotation. I suppose throwing weapon specialization. I suppose. Yeah, you would have serious armor destruction issues. Are we going to keep looking to hire? I don't think so. At least until, look, we're up to 19 brothers. Until we get the legendary bow and get rid of it. And are able to rotate out some of the other guys. Let's put a little freeze. Atomic terrorizers. I don't need spiders. Do I need silk? I suppose I should leave some silk. What I really want is a mission to hunt down some tree men. Hermit's cottage. Crossbow. In short, no. I don't think crossbows are worth it. I much prefer a hybrid archer that has like this bow mastery for long range killing of enemy archers and any targets that are unarmored, and then throwing mastery with throwing axes from up close, shreds armor pretty damn well. And of course the throwing axes get past the damage reduction from skeletons, so you can do nothing to a skeleton with a warbow, but you can ruin it with throwing axes. And throwing axes from so close up, look, they get plus 30% chance to hit and minus 10 per tile. So if you're throwing at one square, it's plus 20 to hit. 92 accuracy, plus 20, 110 accuracy. Really, really good. What time is it? Indeed. But like the thing is, in fact, let me do a little save here. Jink. Load my Faith Militant. I'm going to stop the stream now anyway. I've kind of gone back to testing crossbows with the Faith Militant here. And for them, I've made them all crossbow specialists with hybrid shield breaking, because as you can see, getting anyone who has even any sort of ranged skill is damn near impossible with the cultists. Until you get set up like this, and then you get the cocaine, and then you can hire a hunter, and then if there's a sacrifice, you can give him the coke, stop him from leaving. But anyway, the theory behind these crossbows here is that the crossbows are easier to hit with, and by taking bullseye and I move the battle formation forward, I can still hit the enemy marksman with my crossbows. and then to help facilitate the frontline guys to hit their hits past shields, these crossbow guys, quick hands to a long axe and use split shield. You can convert any background. I've converted a bunch of backgrounds here. I've converted, this guy was a killer on the run. This guy was a thief, I think, or a farmer. All of my guys have been converted. Look at this, every single one of them are cultists. My killer on the run wasn't converted. I think Anton was a peddler and he got converted. But this is what makes the start so amazing, the cultist start. When you become a chosen, look at that, melee and range defense, plus 20 hit points. The biggest thing for me is the fatigue recovery, plus 10 resolve, no morale checks upon allies dying or upon losing hit points. Is not affected by fresh injury sustained during the current battle. That's fucking incredible. And one level below it, you just get the fatigue recovery at level 3 or level 4. Level 2, you get just the resolve, which is also nice. Everybody's resolve is nice and high. Look at that, in the 60s. So I need to keep leveling these guys all the way up to level 11. Then I'm going to do a build video, an overview of the Faith Militant. I'm glad I did this offline because it taught me a lot about, well, armor first of all. I've been much more aggressive with giving people armor who I wouldn't normally. I mean, helped by the fact that you get the plus 2 fatigue recovery per turn, and this dude even has Iron Lung, so he gets plus 6 extra fatigue. He recovers 21 fatigue per turn. So if he attacks twice here with Cudgel, 24, he's only losing 2 fatigue per turn. The all blunt, well, currently at this power level, it's not that great, but it's mostly because I'm only using Morning Stars. Once everybody is level 10, and once they're all using the leveled up two-handed maces, is not only when you see, like, your power goes up, but then conversely the enemy's power goes down, which then increases your survivability because of Dazed. Remember, Dazed reduces fatigue inflicted by damage inflicted by 30%. If you've got 7 guys up front, all reducing 7 enemies damaged by 30%, that's good, don't you think? Dazed is amazing. It's so good. The other thing I learned from experimenting here is that on heavy armored guys, Steel Brow is not needed. Steel Brow is only needed for the light armor guys. The sustain and hit points survivability of my light armor guys with Steel Brow has been huge. Where's the other light armor guy here? Hugo. See, I really gave him a lot of hit points, and it synergizes here with the Disciple of Dovecool plus 20 hit points. But I feel like with the light armor guys, you have to spend so many perk points defensively. Whereas with heavy armor, you just need to spend 2 for Battleforged and Brawny, and you are laughing. Then you're undead. Should we quickly give the Faith Militant a go? If this is undead, then we can actually go with the damage boosting handed weaponry. But let's expect there to be ghosts that need to be whipped. Also, these two-handed flails are super disappointing in terms of their overall damage output. Like 40 to 80. I mean, 80 is great, but 40 is really low. And I did find a legendary one in town, which I didn't have the money for, which had chance to hit the head plus 35. So it would have had 55% chance to hit the head base. Would have been incredible. Oh yeah, I wanted my crossbowman here with this build to try to work in Headhunter, because crossbow shots to the head is incredible, but I don't think that strike has it doesn't have the extra damage on the hit to the head that the other axes do, so I don't think it's worth it. Look at how low these attack numbers are. That's the problem with these cultists. 70 at level 10. That is so terrible. Dreadful. 69 at 9. The flails certainly have their place, and I could load another background here that actually has the lad who's got cover. Or 4 flowers is enough. I tried having two raiders on the outside flanks with the flails. The flails are nice to be able to hit enemies more consistently because, of course, you just go straight past their shields. But the damage is not enough, and the ability to hit is too unreliable. It's frustrating. This could be well too much for this group. We aren't even that high level. This is too much for us, but we'll try. Like we don't need the whips for ghosts. Whips can be good for the Noctiers. Also, the damage output of the crossbows just doesn't really compare to the bows, the war bows. And like on these crossbow guys, I didn't even bother taking Berserk because even with Berserk on a crossbow, you can still only shoot twice every second round. It doesn't feel worth it. I'd rather have a crossbow guy whose perks have him designed to be able to one-shot enemies. And besides, most of the crossbows, well, let's say, no, let me rephrase this. A tier 3 crossbow, if it hits to the head, is going to one-shot almost anything. Beauty of it. Also wanted to make some of these mace guys duelists. The armor pierce is nice, but you know, don't whip him, he will die there. You simply cannot beat the damage output of a two-handed weapon. And the duelist guy goes through armor, which is great, but doesn't inflict daze. The two-handed weapon versus advantages of duelist is always an interesting discussion, but if you're talking about maces particularly, I think then you can make an even stronger case for the... You know what, I'm going to move here, then you can swing in a circle. If it's maces, then you'd be a fool to not take the two-handed version, but if it's other weapon types, I use other weapon types as duelist. As far as duelist is concerned, I think cleaver and sword, even arguably spear for a brother if he has particularly crap aim. But correct me if I'm wrong, if you have Berserk on a crossbow guy, with the way the AP works out, you can't shoot twice every turn. It's only every other turn that you can shoot twice. It's kind of like Berserk is only 50% effective as it is on a crossbow, whereas it would be on a regular bow. And I think with the way I've built my crossbow guys, I kind of don't really even need recover because they're only ever attacking once a turn. When they said that they will exhaust eventually, but it takes a very long time. Yeah, it is still more damage indeed. It's kind of a not that big of a discussion for me because I've never been a huge fan of the crossbows, really. I like to think of a crossbow as a sort of bonus weapon. Like any damage you get out of the crossbow is just a flat-out bonus, like you saw with Damage Incorporated. The crossbows are for your polearm users and your other guys, but it's not their main weapon. And I think that helps to leverage the real advantage of the crossbow, whereas when it does hit, it is utterly devastating. I'm the same. I'll just go for the bows. Now see how good Ewald is there. Now we're going to have 7 guys up front all doing that. The big question now is when I hit level 11, is it even worth taking reach advantage? I think it probably is, because getting a kill and then hitting another guy is going to give me 2 stacks of reach advantage. It's 10 melee defenses. Good. at 11 here, I will take reach advantage and killing frenzy. It means I have to skip quick hands, but that's fine. Eat. Well, with those two-handed maces, I'm never going to get more than plus 10 defense, but defense is nothing to be sniffed at, eh? Like, you guys noticing how different this warband plays compared to Damage Inc? The lack of AoE is very noticeable. But what I could do to help offset the AoE is have the two flail guys on the outside flank, but then, as we've just discussed, the flails just don't cut it. I think unless you can get a brother who has iron lungs, then you can justify giving him an orc two-handed flail. And that helps to take care of your damage issues. That was 40 to 100 as opposed to 40 to 80. But I don't want to judge this setup until I've actually given all of my mace guys winged maces. And we'll see the damage numbers ramp up nicely. I mean, a winged mace and on a guy who has berserk can do a hell of a lot. He dazed. Even though I didn't kill him, dazed him. I think in like the 1700 hours that I've been playing Battle Brothers, I've only ever once gotten a brother who was cut out to use an orc flail. And he was incredible. And also don't forget, this is well worth considering in favor of the orc flail, is that it has one of the most satisfying attack hit sounds. It makes that lovely deep thunk. Like that, look at that, that did nothing. I mean, admittedly, the Faith Militant are nowhere near as leveled up as the other lads. Feel how weaker they are. B. Yeah, little damage that does. It's rubbish. The flail is a funny weapon. Like, you could say, okay, fine, it needs to be buffed, but then if you increase its base damage, then I think it very quickly then goes from too weak to too strong. Help down to the south here. Oh, iron-lunged wild man. That is the dream. Our southern flank is collapsing yet. Triple melee defense. Wow. That's true. Been a beast with nearly any weapon. I mean, if you gave him a great sword, dead brother. Well, we knew this fight was too much for us, so. Ah, defensive numbers not enough. Anyway, so that's the Faith Militant. As you can see, they're almost where they need to be. Anyway, thanks for watching, friends. I'm gonna break for dinner, and when I come back in how long? In 20 minutes, 40 minutes. It's our Dungeons and Dragons for the week. Thanks for watching. Hope I'll see you guys then.